Yeah, recording started. I got a message.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest of the evening, Mr. Yusuf Ahmed. Yusuf is a multi-talented person and has proven his mettle in various fields like IT, music, acting, yoga, singing, you name it. So now I will open the floor and will request Mr. Yusuf to just share his history, like how he started with the music and what he has done before that, and then we will get on with the questions. So, Mr. Yusuf, over to you.
Hello, guys. Good evening, and it's a great pleasure to be here. So, thanks for having me here. Well, regarding my background, uh, first I will give you my educational background. I have done computer engineering and masters in management. And regarding my work experience, I have around 20 years of work experience in IT, majorly in IT. And what else? Like, okay, now coming to musical background, I had a very fortunate, classmates in my school days, and they were so much talented actually, and they were such great singers. Both girls and a few boys were there. They were just amazing singers, and they teachers used to ask them to sing, and they were so mesmerizing in the way they sang in a song. It was just amazing, and so that's where I got inspired that okay, music has such great power, and if it is done properly, then it has a effect that nothing else can have. So that's where I got very much interested in like actually singing. So, but formally, nothing happened till like last year when I joined uh, Hindustani classical course from a very well-known institute. So, but before that, I have been singing in the singing apps. You might be familiar with Smule or Star Maker. So there I have been active for quite a few years, and then I last year enrolled in this classical learning program, and it is such a vast area.
So let me
Music is just
interrupt you
endless. Yeah,
for a moment. Let me interrupt you. So you mentioned
yeah.
about the Smule app. I think the Smule app, which you have so many recordings. So what made you move to the this thought that now I should learn the music? You're already doing great on the app. You have, I think, hundreds of recordings over there and large fan following. So at what point you decided now you need to start with the real learning of the music, and I think which is the classical music in your case.
Actually, two things motivated me. First is like I didn't have the basic knowledge of Indian classical music. Indian classical music is very old. It's kind of tradition, and it is very rich. In terms of the detailings uh, we have in that various ragas separations are there. Various forms of music. So all those things I was very much unfamiliar with that, and when anybody used to talk about it, I was just getting lost. Like it was like so uh, you know uh, like filling me with awe that okay, there is so much to learn in this, and I think I should also learn it. And the second thing is like I wanted to get into professional singing, like releasing my own songs, albums, and without proper knowledge and background of music, I think I thought that it would be tough going ahead. So I
Yeah.
think that made me take this step, that finally I joined this course.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers, and who are new to the music and they actually want to start this learning process. Can you just elaborate on the first few lessons or the basics of music which you have learned from this course?
Well, whenever a beginner starts to gets introduced to a music course, very basic things are taught first, like how to warm up your voice first and make it ready for a practice. And then very basic practice exercises are given to the student. And he is expected to do that practice at least half an hour to 1 hour every day at any time suitable to his schedule. And the basic exercises will include, of course, the notes, basic notes that are there: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. Sa is the next octave. And in between, there are five more notes. So total 12 notes are there. So this kind of knowledge is given to the student, and with the teacher explains how to sing these notes. And initially, a keyboard is it might be required. Of course, Tanpura is there, but nowadays you can have it on your app. There are a lot of apps which where you can play the Tanpura and it will come out on your speakers. So I think that is good enough. But of course, the real Tanpura is great thing. Uh, but that should not deter you. If you don't have that real Tanpura, you can always go with the app. So first thing is having that Tanpura sound around you so that you know what notes to hit. And then you need to practice also the notes on the keyboard so that you know that you are hitting the note right. So that acts as a guide. So you press the key. Suppose you are in the C sharp scale. So you press the sixth black first. That is the sa. Sa. And simultaneously you also press the keyboard key. So then you will know that your notes are matching and there will be a resonance which will give you a lot of pleasure when the notes match. Okay, it's a very nice thing to hear that. It will be like you won't hear either that or this. So it will be like, you know, sometimes that will vanish, sometimes your voice will vanish. So that is the point where both notes, match and there is a resonance. So that to hear that is a nice feeling. So then you go on to move to the next note, that is re. Re. Again, that note should match. And once it matches, you know that it is matching. So likewise, you play upwards, which is RO, then downwards, which is RO. And this practice is the minimum basic practice which even very, very experienced and veterans singers do regularly, off stage, on stage, whatever. It's a very basic and very effective practice. Of course, then you have to increase your range. Then you practice the same notes with the lower octave and the same notes with higher octave. That is Sare Gama Padhani with the higher octave, because you have to increase your range. And
Okay.
similarly downwards also. So middle octave, lower octave, higher octave. In Hindi we say Madhya Saptak, Mandar Saptak, and the higher one is Tar Saptak. So basically you need to move up or down gradually. So it is recommended that in the morning you practice the lower notes starting from the Madhya Saptak Sa to the Mandar Saptak Sa. That is best times to practice in the morning, because uh, that time our throat is not that much relaxed. So if you strain it in the higher notes, your throat will be you will become bad and voice will become bad and it will be harmful for your throat. So it is recommended that in the morning hours you warm up your throat and practice the lower side notes of the lower octave. Of course, in the later on in the afternoon or evening, you can practice the higher notes, and middle notes you can practice anytime. After practicing in the morning, you can move on to middle octave. But
This is
higher notes, yeah, it
great. Yeah.
produces a lot of strain on your vocal cords. So better to ensure that you have warmed up enough. Then you move on to Tar Saptak, and the best time is evening.
Very interesting indeed. So can you give a small sample? Like right now it is evening, so why should we not go with one sample of with your wonderful voice?
Actually, it's basic notes only, like you are practicing sa re ga ma pa dha ni. Okay.
Yeah,
So
anything.
in the evening also, first you will start with middle note, middle octave. So you say sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa re ga ma. So like this. Of course, you have to to ensure that you are accurate. You have to play with the keyboard. I mean,
Okay,
play along the keyboard
great.
so that you know that you are hitting the right notes. So, but in the first attempt, never try to go to like very far in the higher range. Just from sa, you go to re, and then come back. Practice this for 3, 4 days. Once you are comfortable, then you move on to the next note, higher note, which is ga. Again, iterate between these three notes in the higher octave until you become comfortable, and then again you can move on to. So like and in the lower octave also, even if you are not your voice is not coming out, right, your sound is not coming out, still you have to bring out the air. Like say you start with the middle octave sa, and you want to go down, right? So you say sa, sorry, sa ni. So suppose ni sound is not coming out. Okay. Suppose ni sound is not coming out because your throat is not allowing you to produce that sound. Ni. But still you have to throw out the air and think that the sound is coming. After few days of practice, sound will start coming out. And similarly from ni, ah, again, you will feel that sound is not coming out. Don't worry. Just keep throwing out the air. Sa, sa. One day sound will start coming out. Then you move to the next lower note. So like this, gradually you practice and keep moving to the extreme side.
Wonderful. This is wonderful. And can you explain the difference between sur and tal? Because these are the very commonly used words in the Hindi parlance. If you can just explain, like, what is sur, what is tal?
These are the two elements on which any song is based. Tal means rhythm. There is a periodic pattern which is called tal. Now your song's words could be in such a way that it fits in the six cycle, six tal or 10 matras we call beats, in 6 beats or 10 beats or 12 beats or 4 beats, whatever. So it depends on the words of the song or your way of singing a particular set of words. Okay, so there are many different talas based on the beats after which the cycle repeats. Like ek tal means, I think it is a set of 10 beats. Well, I'm not sure, but I think we can check that.
Okay.
But just to give you an example, that after a certain set of beats, the cycle repeats. So sometimes it repeats in the six. I think that is called kaharwa. Then in the 10 beats which repeats, we call it ek tal. Similarly, we have 12 beat cycle talas also, and maybe many other cycles are there. Number of beats are there.
Okay.
Oh, and now coming to sur. Sur is the set of notes that you sing to produce a meaningful melody.
An example you can give?
Like you can start, you can if you are following the this major, suppose C sharp major, you can just say any note from sa re ga ma pa dha ni, like sa ma ga re ga pa ma. ग प ध नि नि ध प ग म रे सा re ga ma re ga re sa, like this. So this is like sur. The set of notes is sur.
Okay, so
Now maybe like if you start from say, I think a higher note or something, maybe that the dynamics of the song change. If you start from a lower note, maybe the dynamics of the song will be different. And if you start from a higher note, then the dynamics of the song will be different. Let me give you an example. Like if you have heard Man Tadpat Hari Darshan Ko Aaj. मन तड़पत हरि दर्शन को आज मन तड़पत हरि दर्शन को आज. So like this is a very, you would have noticed this is a kind of very low note, right? Then the dynamics are very relaxed also. So this kind of thing is suitable for bhajans, like devotional. But if you take a song like किसको किसको प्यार करूं, कैसे प्यार करूं, ये भी है. Now if you see, this is hitting high note and the dynamics are totally different, right?
true.
Now you it is very difficult to sing devotional in this high note. It's very difficult. So if you begin a song at a higher note, then the dynamics change. And if you begin the song at a lower note, this is my belief. I might be wrong. I'm not claiming anything, but this is my observation.
That's a very interesting observation. So Yusuf, we will be having a lot many sessions in the coming few weeks. Part two, part three, and we are going to discuss about the lyrics writing. We know that you are very good at that as well. So many songs you have written. We'll request some songs if you would like to read out for our audience. So it was nice talking to you, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors. We'll connect very
Thank
soon.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Looking forward to the same. Thank you.